We are talking gazumping on the Business Breakfast after some suggestions from listeners and agents that it's on the up. We are joined by Luke Remington, Managing Director of the real estate firm Haus. Do you want to give us a very quick dictionary definition? When we're talking about gazumping, what do we mean?
Okay, well, I suppose there's two ways we can look at this. I've been in real estate for over 20 years now, and the way I would look at it is verbally. You've agreed an offer verbally. This is going back to a UK sense where there's a timeline between when your offer's been agreed and then when you exchange contracts, somewhere between 6 and 8 weeks. In Dubai, it can be that danger zone between when you have an offer accepted and then within 24 hours you sign the contract.
Is it legal?
I think it's unethical. And I suppose if you speak to RERA, it would be illegal. I suppose a property lawyer would give you the yes or no answer on that. But it's certainly very unethical. Once you've signed a Form F, you're legally obliged to purchase that property. Contracts have been signed and a deposit has been placed.
But what I want to know from you, Luke, this is what you bring to the table, is what are we seeing at the moment? Is gazumping on the increase?
Well, if we've registered 125% more buyers year on year. So when you go to viewings these days, you're turning up at that viewing and there are 5 or 6 cars in the street. There's lots of people going in and there's lots of offers going out there. We've got an undersupply of property. So the time taken between signing that contract and the transfer, let's say 4 to 6 weeks, sellers are getting bombarded by other agents with higher offers. Let's remember, the buyer has put down a 10% deposit. So unless the new offer is going to be more than 10%, there's no point in the seller pulling out. They're going to lose. It doesn't make sense. But if it's going to be more than 10% and the market has been racing, and we haven't seen this for the last 5 years, sellers are considering and thinking, well, if I can make an extra 10%, I will go through the hassle of maybe going to court or having a few legal letters or forfeiting 10%.
So is it on the increase?
Yes, it is, without a doubt. It was unheard of. You wouldn't see it before. Verbally, yes, okay, it always happens. Verbally, you accept an offer, someone gives an offer 10 minutes later. But 90% of sellers want the highest offer in today's markets, in any markets. So, it is definitely increasing. We can't deny that at the moment. Sellers are upping.
Is it sort of a one-off, something you see once or twice, or is it becoming a bit of a habit?
The job of a broker is to encourage offers. I think you've got to be a certain kind of person, Brandy, if you're going to sign a contract and know that it's legally binding potentially, and you're going to have other higher powered parties, police cases against you. Is it the right thing to do? I don't think so. But there's a lot of sellers that are doing it. Yeah, it is. It's happening.
You mentioned there the sort of the natural tenacity of the agent, if you like, to encourage more offers. And some that I've spoken to do put the blame firmly with agents, that when they hear a sale is near, talk the buyer out of it, say, come on, mate, I can do better. How much of it is on your industry?
Look, agents encourage offers. We do. But we have one fundamental problem in Dubai, and that's that a lot of the market goes on a multiple agency basis. So sellers can instruct 3 legally. However, they can instruct 10. So what you've got 10 agents speaking to Mr. and Mrs. Seller. The agents don't know what offers are being accepted. They don't know what offers are going in because you've got 10 different agencies doing it. And of course, they work on a commission-only basis. So they want to secure the sale. So ultimately, yes, we can be blamed, and don't shoot the messenger. We're either the hero and we deliver the good news that the offer's been accepted, or we're the villain and the offer has been, you've been gazumped. I think ultimately the sellers hold the cards. They're the ones that decide, yes, I'm going to forfeit and pull out. No one can force them to do that. Ultimately, it's the seller's choice.
You mentioned there that sellers, if they are getting an extra 10%, whatever it happens to be, might just think, okay, well, I'll take the hassle of a potential legal issue. How often do you actually see it going legal? How often do we see the gazumped actually taking a seller to court?
I would say probably 1, 2, 2 in 10 cases. There's more in the last kind of 6 months than I've probably seen in the last 5 years, obviously because of just the market conditions. It's a lot of toing and froing. It's expensive. You've got to have a substantial difference, as I say, unless a seller's going to, I don't know, get a 25% higher offer than what they previously accepted. It just makes no sense whatsoever to go through all the hassle. But yeah, I would say 2 in 10 cases at the moment, that's what we'll tend to see.
Do we need to see
Or Brandy, just going on that, you can sometimes find that the seller has signed a contract and they've agreed, say, 1 million dirhams. They'll go back to the buyer during the contract and it's all been signed, and they will renegotiate and say, well, I'm actually going to pull out this unless you pay me more. And then there's a verbal agreement still after a signed contract has been placed.
And 2 of the people whom I heard from last night about this mentioned sort of silly money in the market. Someone made a joke about Bitcoin gazillionaires. Someone else saying, well, look at the conditions that we've got at the moment. You know, we've got low interest rates. We've got easy monetary policy around the world. There's a lot of stimulus checks being written, and this is what happens off the back of it. How much of it is sort of end user to end user gazumping, and how much of it is foreign money coming quickly in?
There's a lot of foreign money coming in. I think but it's happening at all different levels. It can happen on a 3 million dirham villa. It's not tending to happen on a kind of the higher top end because you've got fewer buyers at that level when we start talking 15 or 20 million. But there's a lot of money coming in from the foreign investment. It's surprising because people are asking, well, how long is this going to continue? I can see it going on for a long time. There's a lot of airports that are shut, and there's a lot of buyers that want to come in here from the UK, from India. There's a lot of people that can't get here. So once things open up even more, this could potentially get worse. This gazumping could actually get worse.
Luke Remington, Managing Director of the real estate firm Haus.